Hi, what's up guys? Mr. Vinny here, musician, tech entrepreneur, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel, Brevin Optimum Consult. This channel is dedicated to helping you get the right gadget for the right purpose at the right budget. Before we go on, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, turn on the post notification button and be the first to get notified because you don't want to miss out on the content of this channel. Okay, so finally, Microsoft has announced the release of Windows 11. What is coming up and what Windows 11 will look like, including the start menu, the themes, Microsoft Store, feeds and widgets, snapping, and a whole lot. But before the announcement, we saw some leaked videos and we saw some leaked screenshots, and then finally a whole installable package of the build-up of Windows 11. I just want to take you through the installation process and let's confirm what Microsoft has announced. Let's get on the PC and check it out. So if you've installed Windows before, you know how it is. So it's the same interface. You choose the languages and everything. This is the normal process that we go through. I look to see now they have Windows Home and Education workstations and a lot. Of course, I'll choose Pro. We all know Windows 11 Pro. All the rest are normal processes that we go through. So I'm going to skip this part till when we're done. But you can see that now the logo has changed to a real window where 4 boxes are together beside each other. So yes, we choose your country, you choose your keyboard layout. Skip this one. Now it checks for updates. So you have to just walk your way through all of these different screens. One item of note during the setup process is you need to sign in with either a personal Microsoft account or a work or school Microsoft account. And I think the primary reason for this is a lot of the functionalities within Windows 11 relies on you having some kind of account or establishing some kind of account. So here, that's where it's going to ask you to create a Microsoft account. If you don't have one, you can create one, or you can use an offline account. Here you go to sign in option, and yes, you can see offline account. So I don't want to do Microsoft account, though it will limit some things, but yes, we want limited experience. Unlike Windows 10, where maybe you can skip some of these processes, you cannot skip it in Windows 11. Your name, your password, and it keeps asking you a lot of questions which you cannot skip. Another item of note during the setup process, you'll be also prompted on how you plan on using your machine or your device. Are you going to use it for gaming, creativity, business, entertainment? So depending on the option that you choose here, this will affect what the Windows 11 experience looks like. Next, we see another screen where Microsoft asks you whether you want to save space on your PC with OneDrive. And this is the first example of Microsoft promoting OneDrive services to you. Now, privacy settings, you can actually skip it, or maybe you can just go. Nice looking interface. Yeah, it's getting ready. Then now I take you to desktop. So this is Windows 11. The first thing you notice about is the start menu. So let's check what type of Windows version have we installed. Windows 11. So here on the desktop we can see this nice and modified image, which is really nice. Aside that, you can see the recycle bin and Microsoft Edge. These are the only things that are on desktop when you install Windows 11 for the first time. But recycle bin has always been on desktop in many versions of Windows. And yes, you can see that our start menu is centered aligned, which is not at the left corner, as you know. And if you're coming from Mac OS or Chrome OS, you'll be familiar with this. Okay, let's have a look at the start menu. So in the start menu, you can see that we have 2 sections, pin and recommended. So based on what you chose, you are going to use your PC for, the pin, apps, and the recommendations will be made for you by Microsoft. Now you can customize this to add some buttons. Add a button. So if you go to personal settings from start, you can choose everything there. They appear down there, all that you checked. Let's bring video up and see. And now you can see how the Windows Explorer is like. You can see the edges are rounded. It looks a lot stylish. One cool thing I do want to point out is the cool animation. So if you expand and you contrast, you can now notice that it has a whole kind of animation. It zooms out and it zooms in. Another cool thing I want to show you is if you hover your mouse over the maximize button, it brings you a panel that allows you to easily snap the windows to any position you want. So you can see the layout, how you want it to be aligned on your screen. That's what you do. Let's try a couple and see. You can notice that at the right corner of the taskbar, you can see that it actually has 3 lines where your time, your day, and your date has been aligned there. This is something you could have in Windows 10 where you could align them and arrange them, but I think it's been done and arranged here. You cannot do anything else to it. You can't drag the taskbar to a new height. At the taskbar settings, you can do a couple of things. You can bring the widget button. You can remove the show desktop button. You can do a couple of them. You can put them on and put them off depending on your preference. You can bring on the task view where you can create multiple desktops. You can turn off the search button or bring it on. If you disable the search button, you can still click on the start menu and start typing. It will still bring out the search button. Now, if you're not familiar or you're not conversant with the start menu being centered aligned, you can push it to the normal left corner where you are familiar with or you're okay with. I think this is still a build up. It's not really the real thing. So there's so many things that are not really functioning, because when you right click on the taskbar, the only thing you see is the taskbar settings. You don't see any other thing. With a normal view of the start menu, you can still expand it to see all apps. You can even expand the recommendation. You can get more recommendations. You can see what Microsoft has recommended for you. Let's see how the widget looks like. I think it's the normal thing: dates, calendar, and some news. But I think it's more enhanced. Let's have a feel of how the icons looks like. And I can see the icons has been changed, colorfully and beautifully designed. You can see a normal desktop and all these things has been changed from the normal brown kind of envelope thing. Let's try and change some backgrounds and see how things go. We have some cool wallpapers, cool background colors, cool background designs, background pictures, and some colors. You can choose the dark mode. The only difference I can see here is Windows Spotlight, which I believe it will change the lock screen wallpaper hourly or maybe per day, or something like that. Let's check out the task manager and see. I think it's the same thing. Nothing has changed. I think just the rounded edge windows. That's all. I think everything is just the same as Windows 10. But as I said earlier, maybe this is a build up, so it's not a real thing. Maybe there might be some changes in the real thing. Now let's try and see how we can go to control panel. And I think realize 1 Windows tools. Yes, at Windows 2 you can see that all these things are, but I think everything here is in control panel, but we still have control panel. at control panel, I think is the same as Windows 10 control panel, just that the icons has been changed and modified. Yeah, but I think apart from that, everywhere you go, it's still the same thing. As I said, maybe they're still working on it, but everything else is still the same as Windows 10. Yeah, pretty much. So as I said, the pin icons are not installed. They are recommended. They are as a result of what you said you were going to use your machine for. So you need to install them. When you click on them, so you can see when you click on them, it's kind of installing. Let's see how all settings looks like. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Maybe the icons has been changed. And I think Windows 11 has this welcome to Windows thing, where when you click, it takes you through a couple of steps and shows you what is new and stuff. It still has the Windows 10 start menu there. Let's check out how the Microsoft Store is. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, the same interface, the same thing as Windows 10. So there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, turn on your post notification button so you'll be the first to get notified. It's your boy, VI2NY. Vinny!